Welcome to the orientation briefing from NTU Library, where we will be introducing spaces, services, and resources that will help you in your journey here in NTU. All of the information presented here today will be available via an online guide, which we will share the link to at the end of this presentation. We will begin with an introduction to NTU Library and then cover some of the resources and services available to you as graduate students. We will then share some important resources to help you navigate citations and academic integrity in your writings. Finally, we will show you how you can connect with us. Let's get started with an introduction to NTU Library. There are 7 libraries in total in the Yunnan Garden campus. Lee Wee Nam Library, which is located at North Spine Plaza, is our flagship library and is the biggest, but we also do have other locations across campus, including at South Spine as well. As NTU students, you may visit any one of these 7 libraries, use the library facilities, and borrow materials from them. There are also other libraries on campus, such as NIE Library, which you may request access to as well. The library website serves as your gateway into the resources and services that we provide. Please ensure you bookmark this URL, as this would be an important link in your academic journey. This URL is quite easy to remember, as it is just ntu.edu.sg/library, or even if you've Googled NTU Library, you would be able to find this website quite easily. On the library website itself, one of the first things you see are these blue boxes. These are quick links into the various services that NTU Library has provided for you. The first blue box, Library Account, allows you to check the number of books you borrowed, including their due dates. And you may also renew your loans of these books via this link. In the case of if you have any fines to pay, this is the link that you will use to do that as well. The second blue box is where you would be able to book the self-study spaces or group discussion spaces available for you across our libraries. We would also like to highlight the second last box, Ask a Librarian, which is where you would go if you have any questions about the library. It leads to a list of commonly asked questions where you can find your answers. If your question is not in that list, not to worry, just fill in the form on the page itself and one of us will get back to you soon. If you click on the Services blue box, you'll be able to see a list of all the services that are available to you as graduate students. The services have been grouped into 4 categories: Library Essentials, Resources and Tools, Learning Support, and Spaces and Facilities. Returning to the main page of the library website, you will see the OneSearch box. OneSearch is like a Google search engine where you can search across all of NTU Library's subscribed resources. This is a great place to start your search for any of your projects and assignments by just throwing in your keywords and exploring the library's resources in your results list. Lastly, we'd like to highlight the box on library opening hours, which you can check before visiting. During the semester, most of our libraries are open from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 1 p.m. on Saturdays, and our libraries are usually closed on Sundays and public holidays. Next, let's look at some of the resources and services that are available to you as graduate students in NTU. As NTU graduate students, you can borrow up to 30 items at a time for a duration of 28 days. You may also renew them online via the NTU Library website, so you don't have to bring the book down physically to the library to renew the loan of your books. You can renew your loans online unless someone else has placed a reservation for the book, then you would have to return them by their due date. There is also a section in our libraries called Reserve Books. These are usually compulsory textbooks set by faculty for their courses. The loan period for these books are usually only 2 hours to avoid students hogging these compulsory textbooks. The 2 hours are usually enough for the students to borrow the books out, photocopy their needed chapter, and return the books. All of our libraries have photocopy machines and printers for your use as well. For online resources, we also have over 300 databases as well as our university repositories that you can explore. By clicking on that databases button under the One search box, you can access an A to Z listing of all the databases that NTU Library has subscription to. If you know the title of the database that you would like to access, you may just type in the title into the search box at the top of the list. If you're not sure of which database you would like to use, you can browse this list by subject or material type to find the appropriate database for your research. Do note that all online resources can be logged into via the same NTU network account username and password that you use for your email, Wi-Fi, and other NTU websites. There is no separate library password that you need to set up or remember. To access our e-resources, you also do not have to be on campus. As long as you have a working internet connection, you can access them from anywhere, even overseas. If you are not using the library search engine or resources to search, there are still ways for you to get the full text or PDF of articles via the library. The library has a suite of full text tools that you can install, such as the Lit Bookmark, Institutional Login, or Google Scholar library links. Instructions on how to install and use them can be found on our website and in the link that we will be sharing at the end. The Lit Bookmark is a bookmark that helps you to get the full text or the PDF of articles that you may have come across while using non-library search engines. As seen in the screenshots, you can click the bookmark on a web page where it asks you to log in or pay, and if NTU Library has subscription to this article, you will be able to download the PDF. You may also use an institutional login with your NTU email on some databases, such as Science Direct or JSTOR, that allow federated access. If you use Google Scholar, we highly recommend setting up the library links in the settings menu so that you can directly view and access articles that we have in our collection from the Google Scholar results page itself. You may also want to set up the Google Scholar browser extension, which makes it easier for you to search Google Scholar from any web page. Having used the full text tools, if you come across an article that still does not give you full text access or you're unable to download the PDF, you can do a final check to see if it's in our collection via OneSearch, as that is a search engine that searches across everything that NTU Library has in our collection. If it is something that we truly do not have, we do have some request services that are available to you. If it is a journal article, you may request for document delivery service where we purchase the article for your use. If it is a book that is available at another library, you can request for an interlibrary loan where we will borrow the book for you from that library. If it is a book that you feel would be useful in our collection, you can also recommend the library to purchase the book. Do note that request approvals are subject to availability, costs, and other factors. DRNTU stands for Digital Repository at NTU. This is an online collection of all the research work that is produced by staff and students of NTU. In this repository, you can find both research that is published by your faculty as well as theses written by your seniors as well. There are many benefits to depositing your thesis in DRNTU. Firstly, this helps to comply with NTU's open access policy and any other funders' requirements that you may have, as you can make your work open access. Your thesis is also indexed in Google and Google Scholar, making it more discoverable. As an author, you have a permanent URL that you can use to share your work, and you can also monitor usage stats of your work quite easily as well. As a researcher, you also need to be aware of the trends towards open science. One common way of participating in this movement is the sharing of data to promote open research. There are many benefits to this, such as to promote collaboration, maximizing transparency, and reducing costs of duplicating data for future research. This is an example of what it may look like when you have published your work and you've shared your data via open research. There's a data availability statement on the full text page of your article with a link to where your data is stored. As a research student, you will probably be dealing with data. To learn more on how to appropriately manage your data, you can enroll in this e-learning course by the library. You can find more information in the library guide that we will be sharing with you at the end of the session. Now that we have covered the resources and services that are available to you, let's look at how academic integrity applies to you as a graduate student. NTU does have a useful handbook on academic integrity, which details the university's expectations and policies. The main expectation that the university has of you is to be academically honest. This means that NTU students are expected to take responsibility and ownership of their academic work and be honest about where the information presented comes from. This also applies to the use of AI tools in NTU. NTU Library has a simple framework that you can follow, which is based on NTU's academic integrity guidelines. Firstly, always consult your faculty and supervisors on the boundaries of use of AI, as these expectations can differ from assignment to assignment. Do also check and follow any specific exam protocols for your course. Secondly, do ensure to document your usage of AI and disclose it when required. It is a good practice to begin some form of record keeping of your use of AI for your assignments from the beginning of your course so that you don't have to scramble to disclose accurately when the time comes for submission. Do also ensure that you cite any information obtained from an AI source, as this is still considered an information source. In general, NTU expects students to cite a specific conversation with AI and not just the AI tools itself. Lastly, AI outputs may contain inaccuracies or biases, so do ensure that you fact check and verify any information that is obtained. Remember that AI should support your learning and not substitute your critical thinking. After all, you are all here in NTU as graduate students for a reason. We would like to hear your research, your thoughts, and your inputs. The library also has subscription to AI research assistant tools that you may use. The difference between these tools and generative AI tools is that these research assistant tools like Consensus and Cite pull their sources exclusively from academic resources. You can find more information on these tools as well as guidelines for the responsible usage of AI, including a suggested template for documentation in this guide that we have created. You can scan this QR code to find out more. The easiest way to demonstrate academic integrity is to ensure that your citations are done properly in the required format. There are many citation styles out there, but we do have both online and physical guides on these citation styles available at the library. If you have any questions on what your citation should look like, you can always ask the library. To organize and manage your references and citations effectively, you can use reference management software such as Zotero or EndNote. NTU Library does have a subscription to EndNote, and you can request for the software if you need it. Zotero is a free open source reference management tool that you can download and set up. It is very simple to use and has quite powerful features as well. We have online guides with detailed steps on how to install and use these tools, but do contact the library if you have any questions on these tools. Not everything online is free to use. Some materials are protected by copyright or Creative Commons licenses. To help you understand how to use these materials properly in your research, NTU Library has published an ebook called Understanding Copyright, a starter kit for educators and students. If you have any further questions on copyright, please do feel free to contact the library to ask as well. Lastly, let's look at how you can connect with the library after this orientation. We run the Scholarly Communication and Impact seminars that are targeted to new research graduate students as we introduce them to the scholarly communication world. In this seminar, we cover topics such as scholarly metrics, how to find quality research resources, FAIR principles which underlie open research policies, and also how to build your researcher profile to boost discoverability of your work. This is a highly recommended seminar, and do note that this counts as 2 out of the 40 that you are required to complete. And at multiple points during this presentation, I've mentioned that you can ask the library for any help that you need. And the easiest way to get in contact with us is really through email. Our email address is very easy to remember, as it is just library@ntu.edu.sg. You can also follow us on our social media channels to be updated on our events. Our handle is always NTUSG Library. We have covered quite some information in our briefing today. This is all covered in an essential online guide that we have set up for graduate students. You may want to scan the QR code or use the URL on the screen to access the link now. We highly recommend that you bookmark this link and keep it for your reference. As freshmen, we have an exclusive Telegram channel just for you to ensure that you kick your journey off here on the right foot. We have some interesting events, campaigns coming up on top of sharing useful information in a fun format. We do highly encourage that you join this Telegram channel. We will just pause here a moment to let you scan the QR code. Thank you for paying attention to this briefing, and we hope you found it useful. Your feedback is valuable, and we appreciate if you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen. Thank you, and we wish you the very best in your journey here at NTU.